When the mind heals, the body responds. This is what I'm learning going into the second week of this 30-day challenge of resetting my mornings. I'm realizing that taking time in the morning to really just pour into me is really, I feel a difference starting to happen in my body, as far as like I don't feel as tense as I normally feel when I get up in the morning. One of the biggest things that I've been having to work on, that I'm going to continue to work on this week, is that I'm realizing that I have to forgive myself on a daily basis, because I think I really had such a boulder or blockage in me of feeling disappointed, feeling disappointed that I haven't accomplished things that I thought I would accomplish by this time, feeling just so, I don't know, in shame, embarrassed, tired, drained. So working on just forgiving myself, working on just pouring into myself has been like one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning, at least after the first week and going into the second week. I'm also, God's teaching me, like, I need to really work on regulating my emotions and really taking time to understand what's triggering them. I was guided to, I saw this book so many times, and then I didn't think to pick it up until recently, but it's called Master Your Emotions. Let me see if you can see it. I'm trying to figure out the camera angle by this author. It's been a really good book. This book is helping me to understand that, one, that I'm not my emotions, so I have to stop saying stuff like I am sad and say more like, I'm feeling sad or something like that, to kind of change the way I'm speaking to myself. I also like that it has me asking questions that I really haven't taken the time to really ever answer or even think about. And it was more like, what patterns am I repeating that could be causing me to continue with the same mindset, continue with the same habits. And then when I start to feel the emotions that I'm feeling, instead of just kind of beat myself up about it, it's giving me like questions to ask. Like whenever an emotion comes up, it's like, the one question I can ask myself is like, is this an emotion that I can just quickly get over and quickly just release it? The second question was like, is this an emotion that I can just accept but not dialogue with, which is hard for me, because I'm still dialoguing with the emotions when they come up. And then the third one is, I accept and I welcome the emotions and more focus on the core of it. And I think that is where I am. That's the lesson that I need to be learning, is focusing on the core of those emotions, because I feel like that's what's going to help me as I work through just forgiving myself. Like, she did the best that she could and she got me to this point, and I have to show gratitude daily. When I think about, like, when I look at my weight and I'm at my heaviest that I've ever been, it's like, what? She was in survival mode, so she did the best that she could, and I got to be grateful that I can still move around, that I can still do things. And those are things that are now coming into my mind of, as I'm resetting my mornings, what can I include that will help me when it comes to my health, So that has been my biggest thing this week. It's just more so just still working on just forgiving myself. Like, I don't know how long it's going to take. I feel like this is something that I've been holding on for just years, that I didn't even really was aware of what it was. And now I am becoming aware of what it is. That it's taking me time to just work on just forgiving myself and just moving past it. And I'm grateful for this book, because I really think this book is going to help me just work on regulating my emotions, because at least now I see that, I can honor the emotions that I'm feeling, and I can start to learn how to detach from them and not allow them to dictate how I do my day, or how I show up every day. And I think that is one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning, is when God says, You know, the two most important knowledges you will have is the knowledge of God and knowledge of self. So I think this journey of changing my life in these next 6 months is really a huge journey into knowledge of self, you know, with God's guidance, with him letting me know what areas I need to work on. And I know right now the biggest area that I need to work on is my emotions. Because like I said in the beginning, when the mind heals, the body responds. Because I'm starting to feel less tension, you know, which, you know, I thought like it was like a normal thing to just wake up tense, ready. It's like I'm waking up in battlefield mode, like I'm just waking up, getting ready for whatever the day brings. But now it's helping me to start waking up with less tension and more of just feeding into me and learning some of the things that I like. You know, right now I learned, like, I know one of my patterns is I know I'm a people pleaser. I like to keep the peace, you know, because I just don't like conflict. I feel like my energy is already off. But then once this gets more, when I'm in a conflict or in a situation, it just tightens me up more. So I know I need to create a to-know list. You know, instead of a to-do list, I need to create a to-know list, to where I'm just no longer people pleasing. I'm saying no, you know, when I mean no, and not saying yes when I mean no, to keep the peace. You know, I'm saying no to more distractions and really just prioritizing my time with myself, because that's literally what I need to do. I need to pour into myself before I can even think about pouring into others. Right now, I just have, the priority is pouring into myself. So those are the biggest things so far that I'm learning, is just forgiving myself is a daily task for me right now. And then just working on regulating my emotions. I feel like that is where the breakthrough is coming in for me. So I'm grateful for this journey, and I'm grateful for y'all to go on this journey with me. Tell me something that you've already figured out for this first week. Going into the second week, is there anything you adjusting or anything you're learning? You know, if you have any books too about regulating emotions, drop them in the comment section, you know, to help me as I read books. That's one thing. When I learned about what did I like to do, I learned that I remember that I like reading, you know, and I like reading physical books, you know, and that way I can kind of get myself away from all the technology and phones. So I'm enjoying having morning times where I'm just reading a little, even if it's just a page here and there. It's enjoyable. So I'm grateful for it. So thank y'all for watching. If you're interested in changing your life in the 6 months and going on this journey with me, like I said before, I don't have all the answers. I am just trying to figure it out as I go. But if you want to go on this journey with me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.